Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm Trucker Todd, as you might have figured out. Man, I've noticed I talk out of the side of my mouth now, too. Maybe that'll go away. So today in this video, we're going to talk about probably the most asked question I've got. What happened and how can I help? Well, before we do that, though, we probably need to tell you guys what happened. But before we do that, we probably need to do the channel members and say hello to them. That's part of the routine. Starting with the original channel member, Ramon, Robbie Ross, Corey Oatley, Midlife Trucker, Smaller Holler, Acer DM, Roger Berry, Armando Perez, KC, Skyhook Trucker, Trucker named Tim, H-Man, 18-Wheeler, Jordan B., P.U. Patel, No Fear, Davenport Family, and Mark Ely, Racing Ray 28, Lance Calhoun, Adam, Mud Truckin', Truckin' with the Fly Rabbit, RGB, Gary Cook, Caddy Wampus, Russell Freight. And so I appreciate all of y'all for being channel members. Hopefully I can get some more content out. We used to have 2 tiers. I removed the second tier that was tracking me around the country just because now that I'm homebound for a little bit, it probably would be pretty boring content. And so that's taken down for now. I'll probably reintroduce it at some point, but I'll bring it back with a lower price where it's more affordable for everybody. I realize everybody's really struggling right now. Let me get to a couple more things and then we'll jump into it. My business cards are here. They're really cool because on one side they show my email address. Hopefully you can see that. And then if you flip it over, it has kind of Trucker Todd in the background. I don't think it's showing up well in the light, but there's a QR code up at the top. And if you click on that, it goes to a link tree that shows you all of my social medias where you can join me on other platforms. If you want some of these cards, I'm giving them out free since I didn't get to go to Matt's this year. I had one guy ask for them that he was going to pass them out at Matt's, but I was in the hospital and unable to mail them to him. So if you want cards, email me at todd@truckertodd.net and I'll get you some cards. If you want to get cards similar to this or something else, my brother's the one doing this. He does hats, he does shirts, business cards, bumper stickers, anything you need. He's not paying me to say this, but if you want to tell him I sent you, that's great. He'll pay more attention to it than having his staff do it. But anyway, his phone number, his email, his website's everything down there. If there's something you're wanting that you don't see on the website, give them a call, talk to them. They know that Trucker Todd's talking about them. So when you say Trucker Todd, you should get somebody that knows what's going on. And if you have any problems, of course, get with me and I'll get you in touch with my brother. But big shout out to him for doing those cards for me. He made them prior to me knowing I wouldn't be able to go to Matt's. And really grateful to him for that. Okay, let me switch that back. If anybody has any questions about that, you can ask me. So what I had on Thursday night was a thrombotic or ischemic. Forgive me if I mispronounce some of the words. I am not a medical doctor. I guess I better state that in case that comes as a shock to anybody. But I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a lawyer or anything like that. I'm just a truck driver, a former truck driver. Now we'll get to that too. And I was working on my semi underneath. Wasn't doing anything super strenuous or hard. and I crawled out and my arm was numb, and I thought, I just laid on my arm too long. And my son thought I was dehydrated. He said, go sit down. Let me get you some water. Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Me being a hard-headed, stubborn old man. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll sit down. We'll compromise. So I went and sat down, and then my speech started getting funny. And he said, all right, that's it. You're going to the hospital. I said, all right, I'll drive myself down there. He laughed, and he's like, oh, no, you won't. And so he drove me to the hospital. At first, they thought the same thing. They gave me an IV, thought I was dehydrated, and something like that. And then the more tests they run, the more they thought, hey, something's wrong. Well, I was at a small town hospital. I wasn't in Lubbock, and they were going to send me to Lubbock. Lubbock was full, and so they were going to send me by helicopter to Odessa, which was the nearest hospital with any openings. Well, they couldn't get the helicopter there as quick as they wanted to, and so they brought an ambulance and rushed me down there. Now, we started off lights off, but about the last 20 or 30 miles, I heard the nurse tell the driver, I forget the code she used, but she said, hey, we need to go lights on and get him there as quick as we can. And he said, oh, we're almost there. And she said, yeah, I think we need to do it though. So he turned the lights on where they go through the red lights and all of that, got me to the hospital, and I got out late last night, and I was pretty messed up last night. We're going to get to what all they did to me. Besides doing a number of tests that I couldn't name, they ended up putting a heart monitor in me. It's like a loop recorder, has this cool little fob, and think of it as a dash cam for your heart. And so what happens is if I think I'm having an episode, it records all the time, kind of like a dash cam. But if it think I'm having an episode, I hit that button and it records it so that doctors can look at it and see what's going on with me. Now, I was curious why they put it on the heart if a stroke is on the brain. And they said when they have a stroke that they don't know what caused it. And I had a bunch of them, like 15 of them, that they put a heart monitor on. Sometimes the heart will do something weird that will cause a stroke or something like that. Originally, I was told I was going to wear it for 2 weeks. They kind of scammed me here. And then after I got it in, they said, well, it's good up to 4 years, but they said it's so much trouble to take it out. A lot of people just leave it in forever. So now I've got this mechanical device inside my chest, and I got to go back to the cardiologist and the neurologist in 2 weeks. But we're getting to the part where how you guys can help. So last video I did, you guys were outstanding. Y'all sent a lot of money, and quite frankly, it helped. It's paying for prescriptions, things like that. Gas back and forth to my semi because I've still got to unload it, and we'll get to that here in a second. So while your money is greatly appreciated, and if any of you want to do that, I could definitely use it, that's not what this video is going to be about. The way you can help me at this point, and I know Scott's been trying to find stuff too, and we're going to talk about Scott in a minute too. Go to the company you work at and see if they've got anything I could do, say in recruiting or safety or something like that. The ideal situation would be a work from home type recruiting or safety job. If it's somewhere near Lubbock, I could drive to work, things like that. I'm okay to drive a car, but I'm suspended from driving a truck for a year. They want you to have been stroke free for a year, and then I've got to get a clearing from the cardiologist and the neurologist that I'm safe to drive a truck again. And so that's where that stands. Now let's talk about Scott for a second. Scott has been wonderful the whole time I've been in the hospital. He's coming this Saturday to get the truck since it's obvious I won't be able to drive anymore. He has been as good as you could expect him to be. It's my understanding that truck will be available for lease purchase. So if any of you want that truck, contact Scott at safety at SRO Logistics and talk to him about it and see if he's a good fit for you and you're a good fit for him, things like that. But I have nothing but good things to say about him. He expressed an interest in hiring me back after that year, after if everything goes fine and I'm okay to return to work. You could tell by talking to him on the phone that he was really sad what I was going through. And it wasn't, oh, I'm losing a driver, boo-hoo, poor me. It was, man, I hate Trucker Todd's going through this. So stand-up guy. If somebody asks me about him 6 months from now when I'm not there, I'm still going to say the same stuff I'm saying right now. I have no reason to lie to you. I've got nothing to lose at this point. I'm telling you, he's a great guy to work for. Him and Rose are awesome. And they've been nothing but good to me and treated me fairly. And I told them I'd pick them up at the airport and take them to the truck. And I'm going to do my best to make it as painless as I can on them. I got to try to unload the truck, which is a job. And I'm going to try to build up a little more energy before I do it. But if it gets close to Saturday, I may just have to go down there and do it. All right. That's the main things I wanted to say. I'll get to some of your comments and answer any questions y'all got. Again, I hope I didn't mispronounce anything, but trying to be just as open and honest with you as I can. A lot of people have asked me, why don't I get on disability? That's always an option if I see that I've deteriorated too much. But I'm not one for government assistance if I don't need it. I feel like I can still work. I feel like I can still contribute to a company. If there wasn't that DOT requirement for taking a year off, I feel like I could take another week off and hop back in the truck. But I understand why they have those rules, and it's because there's different levels of strokes. And while mine was very minor, it was a bunch of them, and I get it. So I'm not bitter or upset, but yeah, I've got to find some work first, if at all possible. And if not, then I'll certainly look at options like that. Several of you have asked me if I'm going to stop doing YouTube videos as a result of this. Absolutely not. If anything, I may do more YouTube videos. A lot of people think that YouTube is stressful for me, and it's actually very therapeutic, especially when I see you guys doing well, or hearing how you overcame something or did something. And so I'm going to keep it going. Obviously, if I'm in the hospital, that'll deter videos a little bit. I was in the hospital these past 5 or 6 days, and I still made videos, though. So we'll see. But there's no immediate plans to cancel the channel or anything like that. There is some plans to cancel a few things, though. Some of my phone numbers are going away. Obviously, I don't need the broker line. For the brokers, that line will be going away. And obviously, to save money, I'll get rid of the Trucker Todd line and just have my personal line. So what that means for you is guys that are used to talking to me on the phone, I'm going to be giving you a different number over the next couple of weeks. And anybody that's texted me recently, I'll be giving you the new number as well so that we can stay in touch going forward. And obviously, if I miss anybody, just shoot me a message on here or email me at todd@truckertodd.net. And I'll get you the new number. So very first in today was Steve waving and saying us or US, one of the two. Midlife Trucker channel member thought he was first, but he was not. And he said slackers. Yeah, Steve beat you by about 8 minutes. And Josh McLean thought he was second, but he was third. And then he realized he was third. Oh, boy. Gary Cook, channel member, I'll be listening from the TA truck stop in Baytown, Texas. My trailer is waiting on an air tank, been down since Monday afternoon. Isn't that crazy? Something like an air tank can have you down for several days. Josh McLean says he'll be watching during his 34. All righty. I may be getting up to turn the air on. It's getting warm in here. And Roger Berry says waiting and watching. These are all people that was commenting before the show started, but I still want to pay tribute to everybody, especially those that have hung in here so long. And Ramon says, I'm here. I'm in the hospital too. What happened, Ramon? Are you having more foot complications? I'm sorry to hear it. Hospitals suck. The food was okay, but I had a nurse my last night there that I thought she was going to kill me. That Nazi kept bringing me medicine I didn't need and waking me up every 30 minutes. And that next morning I said, hey, I got to have a different nurse tonight or I'm checking out. And they're like, oh, no, we'll get you a different nurse if you're here another night. And then the cardiologist came and said, hey, if I'd take this heart monitor, they'd let me out. So that's what I did. They gave me a special card, and I don't have it where I can show it to you right now. But if I go through airports or metal detectors, it says that I've got a device on me, a medical device. And Roger Berry's channel member says, slackers, really? And my channel member, Mark Ely, good guy, is here. He says, what's up, everybody? He counted. He's number 8. Blue Shadow says, hello, brother. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here. And Shannon Thomas Trucking, great to see you home, brother. Thank you. When I got home, I was wishing they'd have kept me a little longer. I felt great while I was in the hospital, but I'm kind of run down right now. And they said that's normal after a stroke. The neurologist said I'm at 80%, but I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm above that, and sometimes I think I'm below that. But I really, if you guys want to know what you could do to help, talk to your companies and see if there's a place for me there. Scott, I'm sure, would give me a good recommendation. So I'm not worried about him saying anything bad or anything like that. If the company needs to call and verify me or anything like that. Like I said, YouTube's going to continue, so I could shine a positive spotlight on a company, either in recruiting or I could work safety. I've been driving 27 years. I've got a lot of knowledge of DOT rules and regulations and things like that. But that's the thing that could help the most right now. And Davenport family channel member says, good evening. Good evening, sir. And P.U. Patel, good afternoon, Trucker Todd. Hopefully you have good news for us on your health and can get back on the road soon. Well, the only good news I got is I'm still alive, but nope, I won't be driving for at least a year. And if I have another episode, they can bump it up to 5 years or never. And so I just need to take it easy and take care of myself, eat well, try to do more exercise, walking, things like that. And yeah, that's what I'd say about that. But oh boy, it's overwhelming. There's so much stuff to do in so little time. Too cool. Great to see you sounding better. Yeah, a guy talked to me on the phone a little bit ago and said I sounded worse today. So I think I have my moments. I get bursts of energy where I'm really good for a little bit and then I get down. But Davenport family channel member down in good old Jacksonville, Texas. That's where my brother lives. Jacksonville, Texas. I think he lives there. He lives in one of those little towns around there. He works in Jacksonville. Maybe I should say it that way. Snorlord says, howdy, sir. Thank you for coming in today. Midlife channel member, put the card on your website. People click on it, and the VCF will save on phone. Yeah, that's I'm going to work on those things. I just haven't had any time. I literally got the cards like a day before I went in the hospital with the stroke. And so a lot of things like that are coming. Kid behind the wheel. Hey, Todd, don't know what this video holds, but glad to see you're okay. Yeah, I'm still here, man. John Fuller, looking good, Todd. Thank you. Incidentally, if I start pouring sweat, it's not a stroke. It's that it just became an oven in here. An update on the trailer, too. Let me adjust there, and then we'll talk. Oh. All righty. So the trailer, the last report I got, it is totaled from water damage. So it's you got to walk gingerly in here for sure. And so we'll be moving out of here as soon as the insurance deal gets finalized. Don't know where we're going. Probably going to stay at my uncle's. We've talked briefly about it, not a lot, for a few weeks until we can get another place. A lot of it will depend on if I can find gainful employment and things like that. New colors will be purple. Name will be the Todd formerly known as Trucker. Oh, that's funny. So I'm probably still going to leave it as Trucker Todd because that's my LLC and everything. And I guess it's kind of like being a senator or congressman. Once you're a trucker, you're always a trucker, even after you retire. And I don't consider myself retired at this point. I consider myself on a 1-year sabbatical to heal and get well. But you never know, if I land something and it works good, I may stay there. But man, that deal I had with Scott was hard to beat. $35 to Duluth. This is why short-term and long-term disability insurance is so important. Yeah, I agree. It'd be a whole lot different right now if I had either one of those. And, it's possible I have it and don't know it, but I doubt it. John Fuller wants to know about a GoFundMe page. I don't have one, but a lot of people have suggested it. Quite honestly, the only reason I haven't done it is because a lot of people contribute through YouTube or Venmo or Cash App or PayPal. But at some point here real soon, I may do something like that. Again, I hate taking handouts for health and stuff like that. I would much rather like it if I could find a job working somewhere and do it, be self-sufficient. But if it's something I may look at this week. I've never had one, don't know anything about setting one up. My sister set one up for somebody's funeral before, and so I may contact my sister and have her walk me through it if it's something I can't figure out or do on my own. Hey, Robbie Ross, channel member. Hey, Todd, on my way to Atlanta. He was passing through Odessa yesterday and was going to stop and see me. And he sent me a message when I was at the hospital, and I didn't get it. I guess I was getting that deal put in my chest. So, man, it was a shame. I would have liked to have seen him if I could. We've known each other probably 4 years, but we've never met in person. We've even seen each other on video before, but we've just never had the opportunity to meet in person. Midlife Trucker channel member, what happens when your wife turns on the microwave? What you're thinking of is a pacemaker, and it's different. There's no effect turning on the microwave from what I'm aware of. This is just a recorder like a dash cam, recording my heart's activity. And then they're sending me a transponder that hooks to a cell tower and sends the data to the doctor's office so they can review it daily and see if there's anything we need to be concerned about. Roger Berry, channel member. He pees his pants and forgets who he is. Well, I do that now. No, I'm joking. No, it's what you're thinking of as a pacemaker. Trucker Zoe, I had a stroke and was put out of the truck for 2 years. Yeah, there's no guarantee that in a year I can come back. Mine were minor enough and I recovered quickly enough that I kind of feel like I'll be able to, but we'll just have to wait and see. The only thing that went numb on me was my right arm, and I could barely move it, but the rest of my body was fine. And I had a little bit of slurred speech. It was all on the left side of my brain, which, from what I'm told, the left side controls your right side of your body. And it was in the front and back. There were strokes all around in there. And so, yep, that's what I would say. Johnny Walker, how can we help you financially? if that's something you want to do, there's multiple ways you can. Hang on a second. This is when it would be nice to have moderators again. Doesn't even have his comment up there. Somebody may have took care of him. Let's see. Okay, back to your question. Sorry. We're still getting trolls. So if you want to help financially, you can look in the description. It's got my Venmo, my PayPal, my Cash App there. Somebody sent me money the other day on Zelle. Get with me if you want to do Zelle. Also, you can become a channel member by hitting the join button. That helps. YouTube takes a little longer. They only pay once a month. If you're wanting to do immediate help, then Zelle, Cash App, and PayPal, and whatever the other one was, Venmo, are the ways that are the fastest. And like I said, not mandatory. I'd really rather find work, but there's immediate needs. There's medications. There's going to be another trip to Odessa next in 2 weeks to see the cardiologist and heart doctor, things like that. So it is appreciated. Wow, looky there. Gary Cook, channel member, glad to see that you're home, Todd, with the $49.99. I think those are super chats. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting that. And channel member Midlife, talking about the microwave. Just wait till your wife turns on the microwave. She'll probably best you afterwards, but it's an opportunity. Cousin Eddie time. There you go. No, she's a nervous wreck. She's a naturally nervous person anyway. And this has really scared her because a lot of people don't know this. 3 times in my life, they've called my family and told them I was dead, and I always come back. And so either dead or dying. And I always come back. So they tend to underestimate stuff, and something bad happens to me and they're like, oh, he'll be fine. We'll get bad news, and then a couple of weeks later he'll be back to his old self. But I think this time really scared her, and so yeah, everybody's a little nervous. She calls me on her break and checks on me, and I get a lot of phone calls every day, and a lot of people think it stresses me out. It really don't. I'm glad to let people I know I'm okay. There's a lot of people in this world that don't have anybody that cares about them. And if you got people that care about you, you don't need to take it for granted or resent it. You need to be glad that somebody cares. No more driving. That sucks. I'm in the hospital. They want to cut another finger. Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I thought you was on the road to recovery. Roger Berry, channel member. I couldn't resist it. It's funny. Sorry. No, it's fine. That's what I do. Everybody, a lot of people got onto me. Sorry, I might have to take a drink of water. Everybody got onto me. Oh, Todd, you need to take this serious. That's what I do when I'm stressed. I laugh. All of this stuff's out of my control now. So the best thing I can do is just laugh about it and take things as they come. Robbie Ross, channel member, your trailer issue sounds like the same issue as the house. Yeah, here's the weird thing. So my wife got up at 2:30 in the morning and ate some yogurt. Didn't go to the bathroom. Didn't use any water. Floors were dry. Everything was fine. Went to bed at 7:30 in the morning. I heard her screaming. I woke up. I thought she had fallen or something. And the trailer was flooded from end to end, probably 2 inches of water. So sometime between 2:30 a.m. and 7:30 a.m., it flooded. Well, you guys know in a travel trailer, camper, whatever you want to call it, water's the enemy. That's what destroys it. The way they built this one, the walls and the roof and everything is built off off what they call the subfloor. And when it gets wet and soggy, it turns to mush. So the goal right now is to not fall through it until they total it out. A lot of people have asked me if I'm going to get another one. I don't think so. I think we're probably going to go back to an apartment or a house. We had an apartment complex we used to live in that we really liked. It's pretty nice. Also has a gym and everything. I may move back there. I would really like to move to the town where my oldest son lives. It's my hometown where I grew up, where I went to high school. And he's got connections. He could get me an apartment down there. Problem is, my wife works in Lubbock, and it'd be about a 35-mile drive one way each day. So 70 miles round trip each way. And that just wears out cars really quickly. And I don't want to do that. She's got a nice car. I guess that's another way you could help. If any of you own real estate and in Lubbock, Texas, and would like to rent it to me real cheap, give me a call. Johnny Walker, did you have health insurance? Yeah, I got Blue Cross Blue Shield, so blessed to have health insurance. Do you get all the money from a super chat? You get 70%. Robbie Ross, channel member. As of last week, my house is officially done. $80,000. Yeah, you should have seen those of you in here that hadn't seen channel member Robbie Ross's house. It got flooded and they had to like gut it and redo it. It was a big job. I'm surprised they could do it for $80,000. But he went through heck while they were doing it, sleeping on couches when he was there, and he had some tenants. He had to let those go. And so, yeah, I'm glad that they got his house done. So, Midlife Trucker talking about the commute wears out the wife quicker than the car. Well, she would make an excellent truck driver. She can drive from Lubbock, Texas to Indiana, which is a little over 1,100 miles, usually nonstop, or she can pull over and take a 2 or 3 hour nap and do it. And I mean sleeping in the car nap. And she's tough. I'll give her that. And so I would prefer that she drove halfway and get a hotel and drive the rest the next day. But she does it in one sitting. And when she gets here, she's still pretty alert. She attributes it to singing with the radio and talking to me on the phone and things like that. But I don't think the commute would get her. I think that with our income going down like it is, it'll be harder to finance vehicles. And if we wore that car out and needed to get another one, we'd be upside down in it, and we'd need a big down payment, and it'd be difficult to do, I think. Jeremy says, cut a finger must be diabetes. Robbie Ross, channel member. I have an empty room in Phoenix, cheap. Yeah, I need somebody in West Texas. Although I did talk to a company about a job this morning in Midland, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, kind of an office job. And I might be in for something like that. But I'd have to get a place in Odessa or Midland and then drop back to Lubbock on the weekends. And it paid decent for Lubbock wages, but for Odessa wages, the way they inflate everything for oil salaries down there, I doubt I could afford to live down there on it because I'd be paying expenses there and here. Of course, I should have mentioned this. No Fear channel member says, hey, everyone, prayers for you. Obviously, if you can't do money and if you don't think you can get me on at your company, prayers are always appreciated. I have no doubt that's the only reason I'm still alive is your prayers, and I have no doubt that that's the only reason I don't have more stroke damage than I do. I'm almost 100% back in my right hand. When they make me do the squeeze test, it's almost identical again. Robbie Ross, channel member, Swift is based in Phoenix. The problem with Swift is everybody there either loves me or hates me, and it would depend on who the decision makers were. I think they know I'm a good driver, which would do me no benefit. I think they know I'm an effective speaker, which might do me some benefit. So I know some people are talking with Swift currently. I haven't had direct contact with Swift about coming back as a recruiter or safety guy or anything like that. But yeah, that discussion could definitely be had right now, because at this point I'm not betraying Scott. I can't work for Scott for at least a year, and he knows that he'll be on my short list if I am able to drive again, more especially if I don't like where I'm working. But things happen for a reason, and I may land this great job somewhere and keep doing it. But I do enjoy driving and doing the things I currently do. I got a tree house in West Texas to rent, $500 a month. Comes with a washer and dryer. That's funny you say that. There's some places in Lubbock that look kind of like a tree house, especially on the east side. Mud Trucking, channel member, I come in late, but it's good to see you back home. Yes, sir, it's good to be back home. I'll probably be here about a week before we lose this place due to a flood. Midlife Trucker, channel member, stopped and saw 10 Cadillacs along the interstate in Texas. They should be deeply discounted. Yeah, the good old Cadillac Ranch right outside of Amarillo. I've been there a few times. Pretty neat place. Hey, looky here. We got John Fuller with the $49.99 super chat. Thank you very much, sir. It is greatly appreciated, especially right now. Yeah, if you're in Amarillo, you got to go to the Cadillac Ranch. It's like a 5 or 10 minute deal to see it. And then you got to go up and meet at the Big Texan. Now, last 2 times I went to the Big Texan, it wasn't very good, but maybe they've improved since then. Gary Cook, channel member, you should try helping drivers find loads. Now, I could definitely do that. And there's actually some discussions between me and a few places about me coming on there and kind of brokering loads out and things like that. There's been some effort put into doing it. Some of the people that tried to do it, the way they were going about doing it was going to take a few months to set it up and cost them quite a bit of money. And I hate for them to invest a lot in something that we don't know if I'll be good at, and we don't know if I'll like it. So if they were already established, then I'd take a shot at it, but I don't want to put a hardship on anybody else. I've already, and this is something I feel really bad about. I was apologizing to Scott yesterday. I feel really bad about the position I've put him in, and he was as good as you could be about it. He was telling me, Todd, this ain't your fault. Athletes have strokes. He was saying, this isn't something you did on purpose or something you could have seen coming or prevented. He said, I'm not mad at you. And I said, yeah, but I've really inconvenienced you, and I'm really, really sorry. And that was the truth. That wasn't me kissing up or, trying to affect my rehire status a year from now or 2 years from now, whenever it was. That was me being honest. And I hope he and I will stay in touch. I don't have any proclivities that we'll talk every week or maybe even every month, but there's definitely no hard feelings there. By far the best job I've ever had. And so it just really sucks for everybody. A life on 18 wheels. Happy to see you home, brother. Thank you. Let's see. Midlife Trucker channel member, I may have used spray paint. It was 11 p.m., no lights. All righty. So we're caught up on the comments. Let me remind everybody, make sure you're subscribed. I don't know why some of you aren't getting notifications. Double check that bell. I've had 3 or 4 of you email me and say, I'm not getting notifications anymore. I found your video on the replay. I don't know what YouTube's doing, but make sure you're subscribed and click that bell and hit all so you get the notifications. Give me a thumbs up and share this video on your social media platforms. Click on the title of the video. A bunch of information drops down. That's that description I'm talking about that tells you how you can do Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, all that stuff. And again, if you run across any job opportunities that you think I might be good for, your company might be interested in talking to me about, then email me at todd@truckertodd.net. Or if you got my phone number, text me or have them call me. And if I don't answer, I'll call them back as soon as I can. Again, I want to thank everybody before I get back to the comments for all of the concern, all the prayers, the calls, the emails. You guys have been awesome. The financial contributions. I mean, you guys have really gone above and beyond. I would be in, they say I need to keep my stress down, and my stress would be a lot more if it wasn't for you guys. And, people say, why don't you stop YouTube for a while till you get well? And I'm like, they're what keeps me going. Their support and their encouragement and things like that. That if I didn't have that, I would want to just give up. So again, thank you. I'll never be able to thank you guys enough for everything y'all do. Gary Cook, channel member, I got a notification 30 minutes before you went live. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to do it. But evidently, several people like Skyhook Trucker, and I had another guy this morning, they don't get notifications. Robbie Ross, channel member, I'd love a partner like Scott. What a great guy. Yeah, that's what I told him. I told him when I was in the hospital, I said, this would be easy if you were a jerk, or a liar, or a thief. I said, if you would have just ripped me off one time, or if you'd have just lied to me a couple of times. I said, I don't have any dirt on you, nothing. I said, you've always treated me fairly. You've always paid me right. Anytime there was a mistake, you've always fixed it as quick as you could. I said, you've never lied to me. Even the big stuff companies lie about, like, oh, we're going to get you another trailer. He's got me another trailer when he said he would. Everything has been as you would expect it. If companies treated their drivers the way Scott's treated me, they would have zero turnover. And I mean that. And there's no benefit for me telling you guys this. No financial benefit. If you guys call him and sign up today, I'm not going to get a referral bonus, nothing like that, because I don't work for the company anymore. Nothing like that. I'm just telling you that this guy and Rose too, they've both been excellent to deal with. And so that's what makes this tough. It's easy to leave a bad company, but it's tough to leave a company that you've been looking for 27 years or 26 years. I just turned to my 27th year. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. Dr. Tom, still 2 treatments. One, cut it off. Goes out the bad air. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Mud Trucking, channel member. Yeah, I didn't get a notification. I got the bell rung. I don't know what their problem is. YouTube's problem. I think once you get monetized, they try to damper you a little bit because they don't like paying out that money. But they should encourage it. It gets them more views. It gets them more ad revenue. I don't get why they do what they do. They've got me on 3 new medications. I don't know what any of them are. Well, one of them is, Well, I better not say because I don't know. One of them's a blood thinner, as you'd expect with a stroke, and it works because last night in my sleep I kicked something and woke up this morning and had a bloody little toe. So yeah, they've got me on blood thinners. I hate those because you can look at something and start bleeding. I don't like taking medications. I already take too many, and I'm going to be trying to talk the cardiologist and the neurologist into getting me off of some of that stuff as soon as it's safe to do it. All right, if y'all got anything else you want to run by me today, in about an hour, actually probably in about 45 minutes, if we're done chatting, I'm going to go meet my wife. She's at work, and we're going to go to the pharmacy and pick up some pills. And they want me to take a baby aspirin and some stuff like that. All right, it looks like we're at that part in the video. I'm going to check out of here. You guys have a great day. Thanks for anything, for everything. See, I still get tongue-tied. And we'll catch you on the next one. I'll try to do a show tomorrow night, too, if I can. I may be unloading my truck at that time, though, but I'll try to do a show if I can. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.